Man, okay, first video just started. Look how they massacred my guy. That's Gaston. Don't mind him. No confusion there, you're thinking right. You'll see him again in a bit, but to give context, basically this is my version of him from a roleplay. Um, so in this roleplay, each character is like a different fairy tale or book character, and all of them are cursed. And Gaston's curse happens to be the fact that he is the beast, in fact, but Beast is also the beast. It's always nice to see Katrina doing her time in captivity. Long story short, she pissed off a certain Yandere king. Hey, you kissed his hand in front of his spouse. That's on you, my guy. Doesn't matter if you doesn't matter if it was for a royalty mod event. Definitely could have been doing your job. Not my problem. Anyway, moving on. This is a brief glimpse at the start of my medieval save. I'm trying to redo this whole area of Newcrest. I do not own that little town lot. That was something I downloaded off of the gallery, and I love that thing. I edited it on the inside of the shell a little bit. It does come pre-furnished, but I changed some of the furnishing out because I felt like the vibes could be a little bit different to suit my needs. The lot farthest to the left is the castle. It's kind of like a modest castle situation because I thought that fit the vibes of the king. That I did build, and I built the discipline grounds. So that's what I've got so far for this particular area. And then there's another house that I downloaded off of the gallery for my peasant household, which you might see them later. We're getting into the speed build now. So I saw several different people online, building on their medieval saves or their Greek saves or whatever, due to whatever mods that they have, and make bathhouses. So, my autistic brain found that and thought of it like shiny coin, and I was like, I want that. I want that in my save. Not to mention that I have played, different role-playing games, and that is kind of like that's one thing people like to include in their like medieval environments is the bathhouse. And I just really like the ambiance of like, sitting in one in character and stuff and doing little routine things. I just think mundane things in games are really fun. I really like acting out routines for my characters. So, to deepen my immersion, that is why I'm making a bathhouse. Now, you might be asking why make a bathhouse in The Sims when you already have a bath in your Sims house. Well, for vibes, it's literally it's kind of just for me more than it is for the Sim. Anyway, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna go about actually like creating the shape that I wanted because I don't really watch builds that often, and I'm not very good at building in The Sims. So this was a very new experience for me. Most of the building that I've done has been in like the last few years because I'm not usually somebody who builds in The Sims. So I wanted to try something new, and this is the new thing that I tried. So I was trying to figure out how to get kind of like the, I think they're called like skylines or whatever, the like window in the roof, and I was trying to figure out how to get like the nice like semi-shaded lighting, but also like have a sort of covered roof. And basically you're seeing like my thought process of like the many trial and error sequences that I went through to get to something that I was sort of happy with. Um, yeah, and I was trying to figure out how I would get like a pool. Because at first I wanted like a pool that you could walk into and go downstairs, but I didn't really figure out how to implement stairs, and I might try to figure that part out later. So, I'm sure this build will change over time. But I did figure out how to get like a little walkway around it, and then I add like little plants and stuff just to, give more aesthetic vibes. And I had like fireflies, and I was trying to figure out like I was basically trying to figure out like how to make the pool shallow, which I don't get there for a little while. Because at first it was a pool that you could swim in, but I ended up making it into like more of the splash pond situations. So really all you can do in it now is like sit and splash around. And I mean, if you put fish in it, you could fish. I don't plan on doing that. Um, or you could like look for frogs. Um, so I was trying to figure out like different greenery and stuff to include in it just to make it feel more full and make things feel right. Um, I kind of wish that I had a pack with like a massage table or whatever, but I don't really have many packs in the game. Um, the only packs that I really used on this, I think, was like the Jungle Adventure kit, and or the little game pack or whatever it is. But basically that one, and that's where all the plants and stuff came from, like the hanging plants. And then I think everything else is base game, unless I am missing, unless I'm blanking out on something that I included. But I think that's correct. I don't think there's any custom content in this. I'm sorry if that is incorrect. I will be including this build on the gallery when it is done. I do need to, hopefully by now, I update it because there were like changes made from the initial finished version. But with trial and error, I do kind of like undo and redo my idea a lot to try to figure out what I actually meant to do here. At some point, I might try like the stairs and shallow pond idea, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. But here is closer to the finished version, and then I try to figure out like what to add to basically make the pond prettier, or the bathhouse pool prettier. And then I go and I try to add different tubs to see if there's a way to like deep fake them bathing. But I wasn't really sure how to make that work. Now that I look back at this, I probably could have shrank down the tub, and that might work, so I might try that in the future. But what I end up doing instead is that I put seats in the bottom and I shrink those so you can sit in it. Then I add back like the candles and stuff to kind of like, get that mood lighting going. Because I realized that the skyline, the window at the top only kind of serves for the day. And then I was trying to see if there was like some type of curtain or drapes that could work there. Now that I actually know how to like scale things up and down, that might be something that changes in the future. At the time of me recording this, certain details aren't exactly finalized. Um, another thing I'd like to go and mention is that this is my first long form video. I do think that I would like to do more long form content in the future, But yeah, it's something that it's gonna take a lot of getting used to. So I figured why not do a Sims speed build video, because I play games a lot, and this would be something that would be easier for me to do rather than, trying to find something to talk about for several minutes, which I'm used to making videos that are closer to like 15 seconds or like, a minute to like 3 minutes, like basically TikTok format or YouTube shorts. Because TikTok is where I started. Um, it's from looking at just my YouTube channel, to you, it'll seem like I've only been at this for what, 51 days and 3 hours? I don't know how correct that is. It might also be counting, the random speed paint videos that I've uploaded in the past. I don't know if that's included with that time, but as far as me making shorts, I think it's been significantly less. When in fact, my first TikTok video actually went up about 6 years ago. So I've been a content creator for about 6 years. Still a little shy to speak on recording because that's not something I usually do either. I'm a cosplayer, so usually I just film my face and I put that to I sync that to music. And I hardly ever talk in my content, so it made sense to me to record something where I would have to utilize my voice. So you're welcome. All this to say that I'm doing my best to produce the best long form content that I can, because I want to put my best foot forward. At first I felt a little bad, like I hadn't really earned the right to do things that normal YouTubers do, because I haven't been on this platform for very long. But maybe that part doesn't really matter. Maybe I shouldn't really listen to that part of my brain, because there isn't really a right to be earned. There isn't really a right time. So I should seize the opportunity as soon as possible, before it's gone or before I lose the ability to do it. And I should take as much time and have as much patience to make the best quality for those who enjoy watching it. So for those of you that are here or that have stuck around, I appreciate you. And if you're new to my content, well, hi. I'm sorry it's a little bit chaotic and all over the place. This is not something I've done before, so bear with me. But you can see how it looks at night. I don't really end up liking what I was doing in the front, so yeah, that's how it turns out. Say hi to Siegfried, you guys. This is that yandere king that I mentioned from before that imprisoned Katrina. Yeah, so in this shot, his arm a little brokey here. But I just have him playtest this here.
Whoa! Glory!
As you can see, you can splash around in the pond. Got a few different options here. Don't mind him, he's always sad. That's what happens when you have the gloomy trait. Then I have him try out the benches over here. He looks so disappointed to do what I asked him to do. But I mean, it looks cool. It's giving. Now usually this is where, you know, some type of montage would go, but there's a reason for that. It's because I ended up redoing a lot of it because I didn't like it. And the moral of the story is that that's okay. Sometimes you make things and you don't like it all the way. So you go back and fix it. You give yourself grace. So that's what I did. And I ended up liking the other result a lot better. I ended up, you know, using platforms to construct like a flatter roof to get the vibe I was going for a little bit more. So I kind of ended up settling for something. But what I end up settling for is this weird ye old Pizza Hut shape, and I don't know why that was the vibe. Don't ask me. I don't know. But that's where we're at right now. It's for me more than it is for The Sims. I was trying to go for more of a roof that you could like walk on, and I might actually implement a way to do that in the future. So with the way things are now, I kept the little skyline roof thing in there, and I made the 4 platforms, and I ended up just connecting them together and then putting the roof in the middle. On a note earlier, like I was saying, I felt a little bit weird about, you know, trying to take steps bigger than what I felt like I earned as a content creator. And, you know, as I'm recording this, I'm realizing that shouldn't really be a thing. Like, I shouldn't really have to earn the right to, you know, explain to you my situation. So I'm going to take a few minutes to do that. Otherwise, thank you, and I will see you in the next video, whether that is a short or a long form video. Pretend to sweep like a dutiful maid should.